People of the internet, people of the void, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a long video, so if you don't have coffee or popcorn, I suggest you grab some. We are going to be going in depth. I'm going to be giving you a roadmap, or what other people title, if I could learn cybersecurity again, this is how I would do it. This is the exact roadmap I would take if I was talking to younger me, the guy who was just trying to navigate things and bump their way through this field called security 2-3 years ago, right? This is exactly what I would tell him to do, and hopefully he would make the process easier, quicker. He would learn a lot more and be a lot more valuable, right? Make use of his time a lot better. So we have a lot of stuff we want to get into, but first of all, this video is brought to you by the newsletter. So subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't already. Check it out, Navigating Security. It's supposed to be bi-weekly, but I'm working on a lot of stuff right now, so bear with me, those that have already subscribed. But if you haven't already subscribed, we are going to be looking at the specific roadmap for what I do, which is application security. Application security is what is dominating security nowadays. If you're going to work in security, you're probably going to default to application security. Web app pen testing, not too many people do mobile, so maybe you could add that to your repertoire later on. But a lot of web app stuff, a lot of cloud stuff, right? That's all encompassed in application security. Maybe some DevOps security, but now that's a whole different genre of things that we're not going to get into. But if you want to, stop right here, take a screenshot or something, this is also going to be on my newsletter by the time it drops on YouTube. So like I said, subscribe to the newsletter. Link will be in the description below. So take a look at this. This is what we're going through, but we're going to be going through it in depth in this video. So like I said, grab some coffee, grab some water, grab some popcorn, maybe, if you're into that sort of thing. But just to preface this video is not sponsored by anyone. These are resources I've used in the past, and resources I continue to use, resources I shall continue to use, because they are so good, at least most of them. So yeah, not sponsored. I do have affiliate links with TCM Security and Mobile Hacking Labs though, but that's just an affiliate. If you're gonna use the stuff, support your boy, use my link. But no one's sponsoring me. I wish they were, because I'm broke. But let me not waste any more of your time. Let's get into it. How I would start is with TryHackMe. I would recommend everyone starts with TryHackMe. Skip Hack the Box, skip all these other things. Go on TryHackMe, right? They have a lot of stuff to show for themselves, right? They have a lot of learning paths. Red teaming, junior pen tester, pre-security. They had this thing where they had like a mind map type thing. I'm not too sure where they put it, but if you go and TryHackMe, I would suggest you go for the pen tester roadmap. Is there a pen tester roadmap, or is it just junior pen tester? Junior pen tester roadmap, right? It has everything. Introduction to offensive security, also kind of shows you an introduction to defensive side of things. Pen testing fundamentals, principles, introduction to web hacking, burp suite, network security, vulnerability research, metasploit, privilege escalation, all the things you need to know to get started. Now, most of this isn't necessarily application security relevant, but it will give you the fundamentals of what you need to know about security to progress. Let me show you this thing. They had this a while ago. I don't know where they put it, but they had this. There's the security analyst path, the pen tester, and then the security engineer. So pen tester is what I want you to do.
Just do it!
These, I think, are modules or rooms that you can do. Pen testing fundamentals, there's probably a room or a module for that. Red team fundamentals, red team engagement, active reconnaissance, passive reconnaissance, nmap, metasploit. But this is after junior pen tester. So start with junior pen tester, and then if you have the time and if you have the will, which, let me say it right now, if you're not going to be driven about this self-taught journey, rather, you're not going to go far. Just go to college if you're not going to be, pushing yourself enough to work towards this. So junior pen tester path, and then this pen tester path on TryHackMe. This is the best way to start. TryHackMe is not that expensive. I think it's like $14 US per month, compared to other things that make you pay $30, $50, $100, up to thousands of dollars. This is, very good value for your money. After you're done with TryHackMe, we're going to move on to PortSwinger. PortSwinger, because we're learning web, PortSwinger has everything you need to know. Probably one of my favorite resources, and it's free. It's free. You cannot beat that. They have everything: SQL injection, cross-site scripting, CSRFs, clickjacking, DOM-based vulnerabilities, core stuff. There's XXE stuff, SSRF, always command injection, stuff about WebSockets, web cache poisoning, which is one of my favorite stuff, JWTs, GraphQL, NoSQL injection. I should actually check this out because I bumped into a Firebase DB a while ago. So a lot of stuff. I would recommend you go through all the apprentice level labs for at least the famous categories, which are SQL, cross-site scripting, CSRF, cores, XSE, SSRF, HTML smuggling, OS command injection, path traversal, yes, server-side template injection, maybe. WebSockets are a really common thing right now, so yes. Web cache poisoning, also very common. The research team dropped some stuff at DEF CON this year that was absolutely amazing. Insecure deserialization, you can skip that. Information disclosure, maybe, sure. Business logic, best believe you need to learn that. OAuth, yes. File upload, yes. JWT, yes. They also have essential skills. Well, they have an essential skills list, so you should do that. Prototype pollution, you can probably skip that. GraphQL, you probably bump into a lot of applications that have a GraphQL endpoint, so you want to do that. Race conditions, I think, are a bit more advanced. NoSQL injection, maybe mid-level stuff, you could throw that in the back burner. API, yes. Web LLM attacks, you don't really need that. Not many people are adapting LLMs that much yet. At least they're not externally exposed, but you could always circle back. Web cache deception, yes, there's only one apprentice lab, so it won't take you too much time. Do all these apprentice labs and you're on your way to becoming a rock star at web hacking. And like I said, it's free, so it's not going to cost you anything at all except your time, which is what you should be willing and able to dedicate, right, to give away time. Do all the Novus labs. Right, now that you've done TryHackMe, you've done Portswinger Labs, let's pivot to courses and something that will give you a certification at the end, right? TCM Security has some of the best prices on the market. This is why I chose them for this part of this journey. TCM Security has a what's it called? PWPT? Is that what it's called? I have no idea. Well, it's their practical web hacking certification, right? I'm not too sure which one is a bit more entry level between the practical web hacking and the practical bug bounty, but you could always do both, right? I would say do this one second, because after this, then we're going to segment into bug bounty, but do this practical web hacking thing first. The course overview, requirements, a positive attitude, because you really need a positive attitude. You need to be mentally focused. You need to be locked in, right? Okay, so they say completion of the bug bounty course. So I guess let's start with this one, right? Practical bug bounty, learning objectives, foundational knowledge, OWASP top 10, tools and mastery, advanced techniques, WAF bypasses, and all that stuff, ethical conduct and career development. One thing I like about TCM Security is they'll always touch on the soft skills side of things, apart from just the technical, because a lot of people don't know how to handle themselves when it comes to, interacting with other people, other hackers, first of all, and then interacting with management as a hacker, interacting with clients as a hacker. So they really teach you this sort of stuff. So I like them. Here's the outline. I think this course was by CryptoCat, which I love CryptoCat. He has a lot of stuff on binary exploitation and all that stuff. But the focus is application security, so we're not going to get that. But the focus is application security, so we are not going to get into that. But like I said, this is the course overview. Take this and then go to the PWPT. If you complete the PWPT, they have an exam, you can get a certification. So now you have a certification on your resume, apart from the skills that you've already obtained from TryHackMe, from doing all those Portswinger labs, right? Course overview. Course will cover how web applications work, authentication, broken access control, server-side request forgery, all this other stuff you've already gotten familiar with from the fact that you did Portswinger labs, right? And if you go in depth with Portswinger labs, some of these labs get pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie, some of these expert ones are pretty difficult. It might take you a while. So by the time you circle to this or move on to this, bruh, piece of cake, you finish it, chop chop, just like that, and now you have a certification on your resume, right? So if you're gonna do these, I'll leave links in the description. Like I said, I am an affiliate of TCM Security. So support the channel, support me, support them. Great, right? It's a win-win for everyone. Okay, we've finished TCM courses, right? We did the bug bounty course and then the PWPT. Affordable stuff. How much is the exam? Let's check. 29. Don't they have an exam, bro? Certifications. PWPT, this one. How much is it, bro? It's a 3-day exam. I already saw that. $499, $500. Whereas if you take other certifications, you're probably going to be paying upwards of $1,000. But I'm not going to say take this exam. Take it if you can afford it and if you can justify the purchase. That's the route I always take. If you're thinking about taking an exam, can you justify the purchase? Can you afford it? If so, sure, why not? It's a certification to have on your resume, right? So we're done with TCM Security. That's Alex. He's the instructor for the PWPT. Absolute gem, right? Now that we've done the bug bounty course from TCM Security, we've also done the web hacking course. Now we're gonna pivot into doing bug bounty, and I'll put that in quotes because I don't necessarily think you should then start doing a full-time bug bounty. You could, but I don't think that's necessary at the moment or at this time, because I think at this point you're probably like 6 to 10 months into your journey. I'd say 6 to 10 months into your journey at this point, maybe a year, depending on whether you have a full-time job, you're a student, etc. Let's say you're a year in, you could start bug bounty, but the reason I put this in here is, like I said, you could be doing bug bounty hunting at this point, but it's not important if you aren't finding anything, as in any bugs. The point is learning the methodology. Bug hunters are some of the best web hackers. Having that mindset will push you miles ahead. So if you are good at bug bounty, if you do start doing it and you get good at it, it's not as consistent of an income source as a day job as a security engineer or a pen tester. You know, that's what I do. So you could continue to do it or do both. Get a day job and then hack on the side, do your hunting on the side. That will mean more money at the end of the day, but you also end up spending more time at your computer, which might not be the healthiest thing. But my main point here is that I've seen people look at applications, right? I've looked at applications, and then I have someone who does bug bounty look at an application and they'll tear it to shreds. See things I never even thought of, and I'm like, how? It's because they spend so much time looking at real world applications from, you know, bug bounty programs. So if you get good at this, trust me, you're gonna be the top of the top web hackers. How do we get into bug bounty? Let's take a look at that. I would follow some creators, Nahamsec, Jason Haddix, the guys from the Critical Thinking podcast. I think their names, what are their names? I don't know, we can check. And then BBRE, that's Greg, that's the newsletter Security B. I don't know if it's still called Security B, but Nahamsec, love this guy. He's a creator. He also has a course, but you could obviously find all his links here. I think he mostly posts on YouTube and Twitter, or X rather, but he has a lot of stuff. He recently talked about this hacker mentality, which is this thing focused? Come on now. Okay, recently talked about the hacker mentality, and it's an absolute gem. His videos are cool. He shows a lot of methodology. He gets technical, so it's not just him bragging about the fact that he makes 10, 20,000, 50, 10, 20. So it's not just him bragging about the fact that he makes 10, 20, 50K. So it's not just him bragging about the fact that he has 10, 20, 50K, $1,000 findings. He also gets very technical and shows you some of the methodology. Obviously, I don't think there's any bug hunter that completely gives you everything. I'm not too sure if I've ever seen that, but they give you enough where you can get started and you can start building that and add your own personality to it. Jason Haddix, everyone's favorite bug hunter. Of course, he has the bug hunters methodology. Also has Twitter. I think he has a company for training that he has. So if you can afford it as well, you can take some of their training. and learn more about his recon process, how he does things, and all that. I know he recently dropped some research on AI red teaming, I think. So that would be an interesting thing to look at as well. Critical Thinking Podcast. These guys, I always forget their names. I think there's Joel, and someone else. But these guys are cool, very technical podcasts. If you haven't done any of these other things I've talked about, you're probably gonna get lost in half their conversation because they get really in depth with their discussions. So this is something you can really listen to. You don't even have to be locked in, so because you could catch some things if you're like doing dishes, if you're driving, if you're at the gym, or whatever. So follow both of these guys and learn from them for sure. And then there's Bug Bounty Reports Explained. I love Greg. He has a premium newsletter where you could subscribe, get insights. He does case studies for bug bounty findings and like big vulnerability classes where he condenses them, shows you how most of the stuff is being found, how people do it, etc. So he just kind of explains a lot of bug stuff, code review tips, hacking tips in general. I used to be subscribed, but I don't really do bug bounty stuff anymore, not at the moment at least. But when I start ramping that up again, best believe one of the best newsletters for security, web application security at least, right? So now that you're following these guys, you're watching the content, you're consuming it, you're doing some bug hunting, maybe on HackerOne, maybe if you've joined Synac, you're probably not going to join Synac at this point. HackerOne, BugCrowd, Integrity, Yes We Hack. I think those are the 4 platforms that I know and that I would say you could start on. So you've been following these guys, you're doing some of your own bug bounty stuff. Cool. Now we want to add something more you could consume, which is reports, right? Apart from reading disclosed reports from bug bounty programs, which I think is a very good idea, go to these bug bounty programs. Even if you're not doing bug bounty, right? Go to HackerOne, go to BugCrowd, look at the disclosed section and see how other people are working on specific vulnerability classes or just random vulnerabilities you could read about that you could probably end up finding in the wild as well, right? One of my favorite resources for reading reports for anything in general, but mostly application security based stuff, is pentester.land. This guy, what's his name? Where's this guy? Let's go to contact. Okay, I can't find his name anymore, but he curates thousands of write-ups on the internet. Some of the most recent ones you'll find on this main page. You see this 2500 bug bounty write-up, RCE via unclaimed node package, right? Draft theft in Salesforce, manipulating public links, attacking PowerShell. So it's not just application security stuff, but you could find a whole bunch of stuff here, right? And he has tags, so you kind of see what it is. RCE, TLD hacking, local privilege escalation. This is obviously related to Microsoft Windows, like it says here. Lots of RCEs. So if you go to this download JSON file and you look up RCE, you read every link that says RCE. Are you going to tell me that you're not going to become an expert at finding remote code executions? Best believe you will. I should actually do that. I just got an idea. I don't know if I want to tell you guys. You'll see me doing it and then we can talk about it. But read these reports about stuff you're interested in, right? If you like XSS, there's 2,000 instances of XSS. Obviously, there's repetition because the title and the link both have the same thing. So you could probably say there's like half of this. But if you like cores, you could look for cores, right? 124. I like core stuff. I could read all these stuff, put them in my notes, and then whenever I need to look at cores, I have an entire masterclass based on stuff I've read and how other people do it. What else could we look for? SSRF. 629 instances of this word or this phrase, term, whatever you want to call it. 629 instances of that. What other topics did we have in Portugal? Let's see. You could search JWT 61, right? See other stuff. XXE, OS command injection. Topics you're interested in, you come, you search, copy the link, you put it in a notepad, and there we go. OS command injection. About 113 instances of this. So very good resource. Copy other people's stuff. add your own personality to it, and then watch yourself grow as a hacker. You will become one of the top hackers, trust me, right? At this point, what did I say? You could be doing bug hunting at this point, but it's not that important if you aren't finding anything. Like I said, the methodology is the most important thing at this point. If you are finding bugs because you took my advice, send me a note on like LinkedIn or Discord or my email, you know, and just tell me, Tadi, this happened, da 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 da, so we can have your testimonial for the people, and more people get inspired and encouraged, and it's a one big happy community. Okay, anyways, at this point, I think you want to add code review to your arsenal. One thing I forgot to add here is probably JavaScript analysis, because hey, a lot of applications these days are like one-page applications. I think that's what they're called, where a lot of the functionality is exposed via APIs to the back end, and a lot of that functionality, if not obfuscated properly, if not hidden properly, you can find it in the front-end JavaScript if you know how to analyze JavaScript. Obviously, there's plugins like Burp that can help you analyze JavaScript. I think there's JS Miner, which is probably the best one that people recommend. There's TruffleHog, which is a tool on the side that you use in your terminal or whatever. That stuff can help you analyze JavaScript and look for endpoints, etc. But generally, analyzing JavaScript, de-obfuscating it if it's obfuscated, finding out what the functionality actually does, it's a gem of a skill to have. Honestly, I'm still learning how to do it. If I find a course that can teach me how to do it, I'll take it, because that will make my life so much easier. I'll spend less time actually having to scour the internet. So if you guys know a course for JavaScript analysis, put it in the link in the description. I'll definitely be happy to take it. Maybe at some point I'll produce my own course. Who knows? Who knows? Just an idea. But Pentester Lab is the best place to learn code review. That's just my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the best. If you come into Pentester Lab, register, go into code review. They have 107 instances of labs for code review. 61 of them are just Java. I think it could be 107 and then 61, or it could be the fact that 61 of these 107 are Java, or there's 107 other ones and then there's 61 Java ones. I don't know. I haven't really actually checked. Actually, there's 12 Java. Wait a minute. It seems like a scam. Where's the 107? Wait, Java code review. All these labs. Some of them are CVE based, where he, you know, takes a look at a CVE, examines the diffs, shows you how to actually do it for yourself, so that you can go out there, take a look at open source projects. Oh, it's 61 exercises. Okay, maybe not 61, but isn't that the same thing though? But anyways, I was saying, he'll teach you how to do this yourself, so that you can go out there, look at open source projects, or maybe even closed source projects. Maybe at this time you have a job, and you can find bugs because you can read the code, right? Lots of stuff you can look at. Python, Java, JavaScript, TypeScript. I'm probably going to look at this as well, because I think that will help with the front-end JavaScript analysis stuff. Ruby, PHP, if anyone still uses that. Golang as well. Absolute gem. Nah, shout out to Pentester Lab, I'm not going to lie. And then if you want another certification, I would recommend Hack the Box's Hack the Box's CWEE. Skip the OSWEE, not gonna lie, but we'll get into that just in 1 second as we take a look at the curriculum for the CWEE, right? This is the Advanced Web Penetration Testing Certification. This would be another certification you can add to your resume. Right now, I don't really hold the view of you need too many certifications. I think you're better served by having knowledge and demonstrating that knowledge somehow. So, target audience, senior pen testers, web application pen testers. And at this point, I think you'd be ready because you've done all these other things. TryHackMe, right? Portswinger, you've done TCM stuff. You've been doing some bug bounty, right? You've added code review to your repertoire. Bro, you're set. You're set for the CWEE. Look at the curriculum, right? Look at the knowledge domains: advanced black box pen testing, white box pen testing, large code-based security reviews. Because you've been doing Pentester Lab code reviews, now, apart from just analyzing and looking at snippets, you get to learn how to read an entire code base and find bugs. Take one thing from there, put it there, mix up stuff, and chain vulnerabilities, right? and then develop exploits, advanced injection, attacking HTTP or S requests, performing blind web attack. Bruh, skip the OSWE. It's outdated. Unless they update it soon, I don't think there's any reason you should be spending that much money on a certification if it's not going to teach you stuff that's up to date. Not too sure how much you'd end up spending if you take the CWEE, because ATB and the academy stuff, it's just weird. I don't know why they do that, but you're gonna have to go through every module that pertains to this course to actually then take the exam. So I'm not too sure how much, and I think because it's a senior, it's targeted for seniors and people that are a little further in the careers. I think all the HTB Academy modules are going to be tier 3. At this point as well is when I would recommend you start doing HTB Academy. HTB Academy, I think, has done a great job at catching up with TryHackMe in terms of being more accommodating to juniors or beginners, but I don't think it's as affordable as TryHackMe. So TryHackMe is the best way to go for sure. And maybe at this point, you start adding HTB Academy for some of the more advanced modules. I know they just released a Active Directory path, I think. So once you're further ahead is when I would say you could start looking at HTB Academy, because they have some pretty advanced modules as well, right? And then I also wrote down that at this point, you've added code review, you've done the CWE, you passed, you're doing HTB Academy, you can analyze front-end application logic very well. I think at this point you can start looking for a job if you haven't already. I don't think there's a specific point you can start looking for a job. Some people will train you from zero. Some people will want you to be a unicorn. So I think the entirety of this journey, you should be, at least sticking your head out there and seeing what's out there, if not actually applying here and there. You should also have been making connections, LinkedIn, in-person events. We're going to talk about that in a second. Leverage your connections, which you should have started making at the beginning of this journey, so that by the time you get here, you are able to at least apply for jobs and have something to show for it, and not just be, an empty head with like no knowledge of anything whatsoever. But at the same time, like I said, if you apply at the beginning, you might become lucky. You might be one of the lucky people that gets hired with like zero knowledge, maybe just your OSCP, and they train you up from zero. Cool. This is still the path I'd say take, even if you have a job but you're from zero. Let's touch on the OSCP real quick. Like I said, right now I'm not really off the notion that certifications matter too much. If you think the OSCP will get you a job, maybe do it, but it's expensive. So I'm gonna say skip it. Skip the OSCP, skip all these other expensive things, and do research and learn how to showcase your knowledge somehow. Blogging, LinkedIn, YouTube, we're gonna touch on that at the end, but that's just my thought on the OSCP. I don't think it's as much of a guarantee to get you a job anymore as it used to be back in the day, because there's so much stuff that's out there and it's free. You know what I mean? I spent $1,600 on the OSCP when I took it. Money I didn't have because I was broke, but it worked out. So who am I to tell you? But at this point, maybe you're still looking for jobs, or maybe you do have a job. Let's assume you've gotten a job and now you want to start expanding your expertise so that you get different types of work as a pen tester, or you're given different responsibilities as a security engineer. I would say start adding cloud into the mix, right? Cloud is the first thing I would start adding. Pick one provider and specialize, because most skills are transferable. I started with AWS, and when you look at GCP, some of the stuff is the same. Azure is a bit weird, but a lot of the stuff is the same. A lot of the overarching principles are the same. IAM, storage, VPCs, VPNs, Kubernetes stuff, Docker stuff, container repositories. It's the same stuff. A lot of stuff is transferable. So I would say pick a provider. People usually go with AWS or Azure. I've never seen someone actually start with GCP. People that work with GCP voluntarily are weird. I'm not gonna lie, because that stuff is weird. But AWS, GCP, pick something, right, and then do their certifications. And then if you want to do actual hacking certifications or labs that aren't necessarily you learning about a cloud provider, after you've learned about the cloud provider, I'd say if you're going to pick AWS, do like the certified cloud practitioner first and actually learn what some of these terms mean, right? IAM is very important. S3 is very important. EC2 is very important. EKS is very important. CloudWatch, CloudTrail, all this stuff. Learn what that actually is, and then we shall start doing some other hacking labs and stuff that's a bit more fun. I'd say do Pwn Labs first. Let's get into that. Pwn Labs, I don't think I have Cloud Breach on here. Hold on. Let me get Cloud Breach on here. Okay, so I'd say do Pwn Labs first. Let's come back to the screen. Pwn Labs, they have a whole bunch of stuff, right? They have labs from different platforms, from all platforms, the major cloud providers. You can filter by AWS, right? All these labs. You can load more labs. A lot of them are free. Some are premium, right? You can subscribe if you want to, if you have the money. But a lot of the stuff is free. GCP. Okay, GCP not that much. Like I said, no one uses GCP. Who uses GCP voluntarily? No one. But Azure, all this stuff, free, premium. Load more labs. You know, all this stuff. So apparently, I guess we can tell that most stuff is AWS oriented. But, bro, do all these labs and you have fun because it's CTFE, but you're also learning cloud pen testing, cloud hacking, right? They also have a bootcamp that you can attend. I think it's like 300 and something bucks. Microsoft Cloud Attack and Defense Bootcamp. You could attend this if you aren't subscribed to the newsletter. I recently gave out 4 vouchers for free via the newsletter for you guys to attend this, right? It's like 300 bucks. What's the price? 300 bucks. The voucher would get you from $349 to $3.49, which is what you just have to pay because of taxes. Subscribe to the newsletter. I keep telling y'all, right? If I ever get anything from anyone I try work with, Pwn Labs, Mobile Hacking Labs, TCM Security, best believe I'm going to put it in the newsletter first. If you don't read the newsletter, you're going to miss out. Same thing goes with like just random giveaways that are sponsored by the newsletter. So they have that. They have a cyber range, which is you showing your expertise from, you know, cloud environments that are integrated. So because some companies aren't vendor locked, which means they don't just use one provider because they don't want to get locked into just that system, and you know the prices get ridiculous from some of these providers. So some people will have some stuff in AWS, some in GCP, some of the infrastructure in Azure. So this is what this mimics, and it's a pretty difficult cyber range. I think there's like 9 flags. Ultimate challenge for you people that like cloud hacking. I think they're gonna have the CTF stuff coming soon, but I'm not too sure what the difference is between these labs and the CTF. I'm not gonna lie, right? You've done Pwn Labs, right? You've learned a bit more. Now you want a certification. To add onto your resume. Cloud Breach is the way to go. If you had picked Azure as your cloud provider of choice, now we're looking at this offensive Azure security certification. I haven't done this one. I want to do it, but I don't know too much about Azure yet, so I'm putting it on hold. But I did the AWS one. Where's the AWS one? Where is AWS, bro? We want to look at the AWS one. This is the one I did. No, that's still Azure. This one. Breaching AWS. This was a fun course, and then even better exam. I think at the point that I took it, I was a bit more advanced, so it didn't even take me long. I think the exam took me like 45 minutes, which was like, I'm like, did I do something wrong? Because I didn't expect it to be that easy in terms of like compared to what I knew already. I was pretty proficient with like AWS at that point, so it was cool. And I still recommend it. Everyone I know that's taking this Loves it. Loved it, at least. It is $5.99 though, base price. So can you afford it? If you can you justify the purchase? Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should get it. So can you afford it? Can you justify it? Right? Sure. That's if you want a certification. I don't think they sell the course separately. I think it's just the one bundle, like the course, and then you get a certification exam attempt. But this is the stuff. You learn everything from S3, RDS, phishing. I don't know what Ranger is. Kubernetes, Docker, Lambda. Lambda is also very important. Secret Manager is very important. EBS, ECR. Lots of AWS stuff that you learn. I love this course. I had fun, I'm not gonna lie. Now that you've added cloud to your resume, now we're adding mobile. This is where I'm at, personally. Right? This is where I'm at. You've caught up to Toddy. We can learn together. Which, I mean, I guess we always can learn together because I don't know everything. So now we're adding mobile to the arsenal. Mobile application security. One thing I want to say, you don't need actual phones to learn how to hack phones. You can virtualize a lot of stuff nowadays, including iOS devices. One place I would start is with Mobile Hacking Labs. They have 2 free courses for you at the moment. They have the Android application security course, which is free. I think they have an iOS application security course coming as well. I'm not too sure if it's going to be free. But then they also just released a Frida course, which I want to take personally, because Frida is hard. Learning stuff like hooking, dynamic instrumentation, and all that stuff. It's not that simple, right? You can barely find some of that stuff on just 1 or 2 or 3 YouTube videos. So having a free Frida course, absolute clutch. Then after you've taken the course, if you want a certification, they have this €229 exam, just a basic Android application security exam. If you want to go deeper with Android research and fuzzing and exploit development, then they have this userland fuzzing and exploitation stuff. If you have the money and you can justify it, go ahead and do that. But they have 2 free courses, a ton of hacking labs that you can do. Some of them are free, I think, or you could subscribe to €20 a month. I haven't seen a platform that has mobile hacking labs. It's in the name. I haven't seen a platform that has hacking labs specifically for mobile, but these guys do. They'll even give you the VM that you connect to. All you have to do is connect with your terminal using an OVPN file, and you have a mobile device you can hack. So now it's like Hack the Box, but for mobile. Ridiculous. There's so much stuff out here nowadays. It's insane, right? I get excited about some of these things because now competition breeds, improvement. So no one's gonna be slacking. You see how Offsick was slacking. Now there's HTV, there's TCM, there's all this stuff. So I get excited when there's competition. And talking about competition, another place you can learn Android hacking is hextree.io. This is a platform by Fabian from the Live Overflow channel. Live Overflow. This is his platform, and another guy who does like hardware security stuff, because they have different courses. They also have a web application security course that you could check out. We're not really here for web application security. We're here for the Android course. This Android course is a bit more in-depth than the one from Mobile Hacking Labs, for sure. I've taken a look at both. I'm still doing this one because, like I said, it's a bit more in-depth. It's taken me quite a bit of time to dive into. But this one was sponsored by Google. It's a bug bounty program. But this course was sponsored by Google's bug bounty program. So the goal is to get you into, bug bounty and that sort of research, security research, application security research. And then I think Mobile Hacking Labs is more geared toward actual Android and iOS security research from like a very low level perspective. So it doesn't just stop at your basic application security like the Hextree. It'll get you deeper into kernel, exploitation, fuzzing, and all that stuff. But if you want to do just application security, which is our goal, Hextree, this is golden stuff. They'll introduce you a lot into that, and then you can veer into mobile bug bounty as well. What else do we put here? I think that's it. This is where I'm at. So maybe we'll expand this as I learn more things. This is not the only stuff I do for work, but like I said, This is what I would do to learn application security. For work, I also do external pen tests. I do internal pen tests, which is the stuff I've learned from PNPT, CRTP, and all that stuff. I'm also going to be doing physical pen tests, which is cool. Just so you know, I might record one if I can, or some stuff at least. I obviously cannot record a physical pen test. I'm lying. Probably high-key cannot. So I can just tell you about the experience. So I'll let you guys know. But extras. These are extras, but these are things you should be doing from the start. From the start of your journey, you should be doing these things, right? Attend conferences and talk to people in person. I live in the DFW area in Texas. There's a bunch of things that always happen. I think, maybe not always, but frequently. I know there's the Dallas Hackers Association, which they meet up monthly. There's a bunch of talks that people give. You can volunteer to give a talk. There's rooms where you can learn lockpicking. You can get help you with your resume, stuff like that. Attend conferences. There's obviously local conferences here in the DFW area. I'm going to be attending more of those and veering off to Austin as well. So talk to people in person, right? Be social. Learn from other people. Tell them what you are learning and ask them what to learn. A lot of people are way ahead of you. Some are only just a bit ahead of you. Ask for advice, get input, and adjust from there. This roadmap I'm giving you is not the end all be all. I'm just telling you what I would do if I could start again, because everyone asks me, how do I get into security? Now I'm going to be like, go watch this 1 hour video. And we'll see if you're serious or not. Because I always talk to people and I tell them how long it took me to get into security. All these things I had to do apart from just learning and certifications. And they never really come back to me. Because it's pretty difficult, right? So if I ever meet someone and I send them this video and they actually watch it through and through, hey, I think they're serious at that point, right? So get input. Adjust based on your circumstances. If you're a student, if you already have a full-time job, maybe you're working in a different industry, adjust as you need. This is not the end all be all. I don't know everything. I'm not going to tell you that there's one path into security, because there's not. Carve your own path. Carve your own way into security, right? That's what I did personally. My certification route was very unconventional. People are like, hey, do this. I'm like, nah, bro, I can't afford to do that. First of all, that is going to take so much time. This other thing seems outdated, you know? So I had to make decisions based on what I had and where I was at. I would say start a YouTube channel if you can. You don't have to show your face. I didn't show my face for a little bit, but it does make you more relatable. But there are channels that are very good and relatable that are faceless. Mad Hat is one of the cybersecurity channels I know where he doesn't show his face. He has like a shiesty. Can we call it a shiesty? Yeah, he has like a shiesty on, and he has a big personality, so he's very relatable. You know what I mean? So you don't have to put your face in it, but if you're not gonna put your face in it, don't be boring. Do not be boring. All right. LinkedIn content creation. This doesn't have to be the quirky word salad BS. You can make it whatever you want. If you want it to be the quirky word salad BS, amen, do you, but it doesn't have to be. You could post technical content on LinkedIn. You could, you know, do it on Twitter or X. I don't really like X because of some of the content that's on there. So maybe you do. So post on there. Right, learn from other people, and then once you do 1 or 2 or 3 rooms, if you learn a little bit of Linux, a little bit of web hacking, you already know more than the person that's now starting as well. So share your knowledge, help other people. You make friends, you make connections that might last a lifetime. Start a blog. One thing I'd say about blogging is be unique, right? Everyone, trust me, everyone does hack the box write-ups. Everyone does proving grounds write-ups. Everyone does TryHackMe write-ups. You're not gonna write up IPSec, right? So you're not gonna write up OXDF. These guys have been doing it for a while and they have some of the best methodology. So be creative and be unique about your blog. Don't just settle for the generic, oh, ATP write-up. Come on, man. You can do better than that. I'm pretty sure. I have faith in you, right? Document cool projects and tools you're building. If you were starting out, I'd say do tool building as well. I think this is more important than certifications, but at the same time, tool building requires some knowledge of what problems you might face or what problems people are facing. So maybe without experience, you might not know what exactly to build, but you'll get there eventually. Document that stuff, put it on GitHub, open source it if you want to, or make it a product. Who knows? Contribute to open source projects. AWS Scout Suite, since you've already added AWS to your repertoire, I mean cloud at least, you could contribute to open source projects. You can put that on your resume. You can talk about it on your faceless YouTube channel or your blog. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Like I said, this is just the intro because I want to put this on my newsletter, but this stuff takes a while. It takes a while, and this video has been 48 minutes. Probably just gonna get to 50 with these closing remarks. Work hard, right? Adjust these things according to your needs. I'm not telling you to spend 8 hours at your day shift and then come spend another 8 hours studying for the TCM security courses. Nah, bro. Do what you can, but slow progress is better than no progress. Motion is better than no motion. I've heard some of these things on like Instagram or whatever, right? Small consistent wins are better than large once-offs, right? Do something consistently here and there instead of just doing it like once every 3 months, and you'll see yourself making a lot of progress. If you have any questions even after this entire video, let me know in the comments. I hope this was helpful. Please, if you got to the end, I appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel. If you got to the end, you're crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Insane stuff. Love you. God bless. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.